Alright guys, here we are. It's Sunday, March the 9th, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember what date it is. This is the big surprise I was telling you all about on Facebook about a week ago. That I'm getting a 1985 Chevy K-5 Blazer. And I'm buying it from this guy right here. It needs a lot of work. It needs an awful lot of work. But I have faith in this thing. As you can see, it's pretty much ultimate destruction right now. There's parts thrown around all over the place. And that is just the beginning. But this is what people do. This is what friends do. Get that right, Daniel?
That is correct, sir.
This thing needs a lot of work. It's been sitting around here for a long time. I know he doesn't really want to let it go, but that is the good thing about me buying it, because I'm going to buy it in one way or another. I am going to fix this Blazer. Like I said, obviously it needs a motor, needs a grill, needs headlight bezels, needs lights. And like I said, that's just the beginning. This thing is rough. I mean, really, really rough. I don't know how well you all can see this. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Gone. This right here is supposed to be screwed down. Yeah, rust. And lots and lots and lots of it. Down here, I don't know how well you can see that, but if you look real close, you see this little thing sticking out right here? That's the carpet from the interior. That's carpet right there. There is nothing here. It's completely rusted out. The frame's got a little bit of rust, but it's not rusted in half or anything, or at least not yet. I'm gonna try my absolute best to get this thing torn apart as soon as I get it home. Tear all the interior out of it and start taking body parts off of it. First thing that's gonna go is gonna be the front clip. I'll take that off. The front's still pretty solid. Fenders have no rust. No rust in the fenders, which is good. Actually, no, it's not rusty. It's not rusty at all. Fenders are not rusted. Core Sport's not rusty. Radiator Sport's not rusty. The other fender looks just as good, nice and straight, other than that epoxy antenna job, which I'll probably just, I don't know what I'll do for that. I'll probably take it out and just, I don't know, fill that hole and put an aftermarket antenna somewhere else on it. That's nice and solid. The doors are solid. Even though the rockers are completely rusted out, the doors themselves are solid. A lot of people say, oh, this thing's too rusty, it needs to just be scrapped and take the good parts off of it and get rid of it. They may be right, but I'm pretty stubborn, so I'm not doing that. I'm gonna fix it. Ow! Ah, stupid briar patch. Inside, the seats and stuff are not bad in it, and surprisingly enough to me, the dash pad in this thing looks great. It's not cracked anywhere at all. One of the vents are gone out of it right there, but this dash pad has no cracks, has a really good dash in it. It's got a nice cluster bezel thing, whatever the hell you want to call it there. The seats are in good shape, no tears in the seats. They're dirty, of course. I mean, the thing's been parked for like 4 years, but it doesn't matter. None of that matters. That can all be cleaned up. One thing I'm gonna do to it when I do get ready to fix it, it's got power windows. None of the power windows work right in it. I'm getting rid of those. The door panels are kind of rough anyway. Get rid of the power windows, and we'll put manual cranks in it, because they last a lot longer. They're just a lot less of a fuss to mess with if something goes wrong. It's going to need a master cylinder on it. It's probably going to need brake lines. This thing, whenever it first met its ultimate demise that caused it to be parked for the last 5 years, the transmission in it was almost brand new. Probably what, less than a year old? Something like that, maybe a year old. I'm sure it's probably caked up with about 40 pounds of mud, but that still doesn't change the fact that it was an almost new transmission. So that should be good. I shouldn't have to mess with that other than pulling it out and cleaning it up, which, you know, would come as part of the whole process of working on this thing anyway. But like I said, disassemble this thing completely. First thing I'm doing is tearing out the interior, getting all that out of the way, I'm gonna pull the topper off in the back. I'm gonna pull the top off and put that up somewhere, because I mean, that's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't even think that thing's made out of metal, is it, Daniel? I don't know if it is or not. I think it's fiberglass or something. Either way, it's not rusty. It's perfectly solid. The windows are good in it. The tailgate and the back window need work, but that small potatoes by comparison with everything else this thing needs, and I'll get to it eventually. The hood's in good shape. The hood's not bent, rusty, or banged up in any way. It's rusty, you know, like surface rust, but it's not rotted, and that is great news. That's probably the worst looking part of the whole thing right here on the corner, and that's not even where it's rusted out. It's rubbed against something and like sheared a little piece off it, which that's nothing. I don't care. The bumpers are in great shape. Still got pretty good chrome on them. They'll clean up real nice. It's still got the original wheels, still got all the center caps and bands. Of course, you know, they got grass all over them where they've been mowed around and stuff. As you can see, not too shabby. This thing will make a nice original Blazer. I'm not going to lift it. I'm not going to jack it up and put big 40-inch tires or none of that crap on it. It's going to stay just like it is with original size tires. I'm not going to rebuild this original motor. I'll actually show you guys what we've got to work with as far as an engine goes. Back last summer, Daniel went and bought another 305 off from a guy, because that's what it's got in it. It's got a 305 from the factory. It's the original motor that's in it right now. And it's junk. It's a boat anchor. It might be rebuildable, but it's a 305, so I'm not going to worry about it. But right here is what we've got going on to go in it. There's another 305 that we went and picked up off from a guy that we know last summer. It just cost a couple $100. No big deal. Take it, put the valve cover gaskets on it, slap the carburetor on it, distributor cap. It's got all the parts that goes with it too. It's got a power steering pump, it's got a clutch, or a mechanical fan. It's not a clutch fan, it's just like a regular mechanical fan that goes in it. It's got all the pulleys and all that jazz. It's got the distributor cap, it's got an alternator and everything to go with it. All it will need that's not already here is a set of gaskets and a carburetor. So that's good news for me. That means I won't have to go spend a whole lot of money to probably get this thing up and running once I do get ready to slap the motor in it. I'll just have to be sure and keep those parts out of the weather. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, the thing's been sitting right here where it is for, hell, I guess what, about a year now? Been sitting right where it is for about a year. And, you know, like I said, the thing's just spent a lot of time sitting around. It's really, really bad off rusted. I mean, you can see right in there. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you can see it. That's carpet right there. That's rusted all the way through. And a big chunk fell off when I touched it. That's rusted out. You open the door right here, the cancer spreads all over the place. It's done for as far as sheet metal and the floors and stuff goes. It's gonna have to have floors in the front, probably floors in the rear. I don't know, I might be able to just patch the original floor and keep that in there, but I kinda doubt it. Over here, it's worse on the driver's side. It's rusted right up in through there. I'll have to cut this about right here. And what I'm going to do, instead of going and spending a big load of money ordering parts from LMC Truck and everything, which, yeah, I know you can get cheap parts and stuff, but I'm a cheap guy. I don't have a whole lot of money to blow on this stuff. When I say not a whole lot, I mean I practically don't have any. So, what I'm going to do is start coming across just pieces of sheet metal here and there. I'll buy some here and there, or I'll use some scrap that's left over. I'll cut up car hoods and everything to be thought of and make homemade patch panels for this thing. And once that's all good and done, which will take forever, the only thing I'll really have to go buy any pieces or find some used somewhere that are solid, or like over these wheel wells. You know, I'll just take it and cut it. Well, I'll take the trim off, obviously, and take this crap off. That's never going back on there. And just take it and cut it about right there, cut it up through here, right across through there, and back down again, cut that whole wheel well out, and weld another one in off my other truck out of a quarter panel, just a patch panel for the quarters. This one over here, as far as being over the wheel, there's one rust spot right there. I could probably cut that out and just put a piece of little flat sheet metal in it and fix that. It's solid down here by the wheel on this side, and then right back here, it's rusty. And that's another thing. I could probably fix a little piece of sheet metal, you know, just kind of take it and tack it in there, then kind of peck on it with a hammer and bend it in the way it's supposed to be and just weld it. And this side will be good to go. But now right there in the corner, that is going to be a problem. But like I said, this is all trivial stuff. This thing's going to need a boatload of work. Obviously, it's going to take a long time for me to get this thing restored. But I'm going to do it. Not just because I like this Blazer and I've been chasing after it, wanting it for 5 years now. But also, it belongs to my best friend, you know. I know he doesn't want to let it go. He doesn't want to see it sit around and go to hell in the yard. So I'm going to fix it. And I think everybody will be happy when it's done. Let's see, what else is there about it?